anybody who at all is familiar with the Dream Team, I guess, and lots of other games, kind of communities at the moment, is it is infestated with so-called stands. Whether or not they're stands, I'll get into it later. And I just wanted to make this video. First off, it's not one of those talk about how toxic dream stands are. They are. There's thousands of videos up there. If you want to watch something about that, then go. But I want to talk more about how and why the getting into that kind of stan mindset and culture is one of the most toxic things you can possibly do. The word stan itself comes from, I guess, lots of the kind of actual dream stans, put that in quotation marks. They will actually know it comes from. It comes from the Eminem song "Stan" with Dido, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The song itself is quite dark, so a big kind of NSFW warning. If you want to look it out, however, it's a very good song, and it basically showcases the kind of path into insanity of this really obsessive, hyper obsessive fan of Eminem, who in this, they don't say it, but it's Eminem, and he kind of gradually doesn't get any kind of reception, I guess is the word, from his idol himself, Eminem. He kind of messaged, emailed, and a letter to Eminem, and gradually just didn't get a response. We're talking about all these kind of dark stuff I'm not going to talk about here, and eventually got to the point where I'll probably put some text on the screen because I don't really want to say that, but I don't know, I've got my editing skills, I'm not sure I can do that work yet, but that's what happened. And that's where the word stan came from. It's now used all the time today, and used very loosely as somebody who maybe just is a good fan. So today it will be used as maybe an artist, a YouTuber, something like that, and it really is one of the most dangerous mindsets to get into. Now, on the internet, especially kind of social media like Twitter at the moment, there are these stands every corner, everywhere you look, really. Whether it's kind of K-pop, there's tons of those fans who will sit behind an account with no personal details at all. They say whatever they want and they kind of just spam everywhere. If you're familiar with Twitter, you'll know what I'm talking about. And more recently, there's these Dream Team stands, mainly for Dream himself, who will have a profile picture of insert Dream Team member, George, Dream Sapnap, whatever, Bad or Hello, Skeptic, whatever it is, and they'll just comment saying random things about Dream or the team or whatever, and you don't understand what their life's like behind the camera, or behind the profile, I should say. It goes without saying, but it does need to be said a lot more, rather than just saying these people are toxic, they're kids, end of video. You need to understand how dangerous that kind of mindset is, regardless of whether or not they are in the traditional sense of stans. Treating somebody almost as a messiah is A, dangerous for the creator themselves, for the artist or whatever, as every little thing you do is closely monitored by these people who are obsessed with you, and one little mistake, one little slip up, you've suddenly got potentially thousands of people on your heels, and it creates a very, I guess, a very kind of nervous paranoia type state. Obviously not that I would know, I'm obviously not big or anything, but it begs a question, when does it end? You know, when do they not then go and throw themselves off like in the actual song? When does it end, you know? They create, starts off, they watch every video, to the end, they read all their tweets, they follow them on social media, they make profiles dedicated to them, they make fan art, they make videos about them, where does it end? Where do they then think, okay, this is far enough? Do they go and meet them in person? Do they try and find out Dream's identity? Like, there needs to be some level of restraint for these. Some of them are kids, some of them won't be kids. Yeah? When you have thousands and thousands of accounts dedicated to these people, they're not all going to be children, and it's very dangerous and very toxic, and yeah, it isn't safe and it isn't right, and people who are stan need to, if they said something about it, yeah, then the stans just wouldn't do it anymore. At the base level, the average Dream stan is really nothing too crazy. I just call them a big fan, you know. The majority of them will just be kids who have a bit of spare time and enjoy this creator and will make a profile, post maybe drawing of them every now and then, or say that they enjoyed their video or make comments about them, yeah. However, very, very gradually you'll discover if you look, even if you don't look that hard, how it can really easily become something a lot more than that. Now, I'm saying the average person probably doesn't do that kind of thing, isn't that obsessed. However, it is definitely something to keep in mind if maybe you are a stan or you know somebody who calls himself a stan. The real problem here, in my opinion, though, is the so-called K-pop stans. Now, they have even less, I guess, persona, real-life connections to them real-life selves. On the profile, they won't say their name. They won't say their name, what country they live in. Often, obviously, probably South Korea, but you obviously don't really know. But it's like you can't do that on anything else, and it gives them free reign, and they can say anything they want with no repercussion because nobody knows who they are, and that is even more dangerous than the average, even just the non-average Dream Team stan. They often have some link to their real world selves, and there's lots of these K-pop stars that are big in, I guess, the mainstream media. People will know where they live. People will know everything about them even more. I think it's very good that Dream hasn't revealed his identity. I really hope he doesn't, because if you know as a K-pop star that there's thousands of people who know exactly where you are, who all see you as a god, then basically it isn't safe. Where does the line end? And where do you, as a content creator or a K-pop star or an artist or whatever, where do you put your foot down and say this isn't okay? I've seen so much, well, not actually seen it, but I've heard so many people talking about not safe for work drawings of these big YouTubers and stuff, and just isn't right or natural, and it's something that needs to be stopped. Follow my Twitch. Yeah, cool. Cue the outro, which is just me pressing stop recording.